if we had like Big Shot Bob for Robert Horry, what are we calling Tyrese Halliburton? Because Big Shot Bob would give you like one a postseason. This guy's giving you 3 in 3 rounds. What a performance down the stretch by Halliburton, and the entirety of that team sticking together, staying to the plan, and shocking everyone in the fourth quarter again.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Not that we have control of any sport. Baseball, you can breathe. The pitcher steps off the mound, even at the bottom of the 9th World Series or whatever. Football, okay, first down. Then you second down, and there's a method to it, right? The hockey is just all out reactionary, crazy, puck bouncing around everywhere. Oh my God, there's always like a scoring chance.
Sports Rage tonight, only on SportsGrid.
Dialing it back to his old days with St. Louis and Arizona. Buy or sell, Goldie will finish top 7 in fantasy first baseman.
No, I'm going to say no. I think he'll fall off. Older player here, he'll be top 10, but not top 7 here. Top 10, I would say I'd buy it. Top 7, I'm going to say no here. I think he'll put up decent numbers here. Not as good as he was. I don't think he's going to bat 340, 350 all year long.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
I got a feeling Pittsburgh's going to the Super Bowl. I got a feeling there is no chance they're going to the Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers. I'm just kidding.
They're still not expected to have over 8.5 wins. They're still not expected to have a winning record. Now, I know things could change for the next 24 hours. I get that. But everyone expected Aaron Rodgers to sign with him. He's going to sign with him.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
Back right here on SportsGrid on Game Time Decisions for the NBA Finals Game number 3. Kevin Walsh, Coach James Young, JY. Huge game.
Huge game.
I believe 80% of the time when an NBA Finals or a playoff series is 1-1, the winner of Game 3 goes on to win the series.
And welcome to the official pregame show, the only pregame show you should listen to or watch, or however you do it in the car, in the office, in the bedroom, whatever you want to do. This is the show. 1-1. We have ourselves a series. We have ourselves a game. Coach is all caffeinated up. I'm ready to go.
The caffeine part certainly tracks. 5.5-point number. You and I were live at the end of game number 2 when we saw that 3.5. How surprised, if at all, are you that this has moved a full 2 points in the Thunder's direction?
I think it's surprising to me to the point where I almost thought about taking the 5.5 points with Indiana because I feel like this is going to be their effort. We talked about at the end of game 2, we thought that there was a little bit of a punt done by Rick Carlisle, right? He didn't play Pascal Siakam basically the last, 15 minutes of action. He didn't really use the adjustment. I think he tinkered with some stuff going into game 3. So to me, I thought about taking the points as it went up. I just decided to go a completely different direction. Kevin's right. This is the game. This is a series. If Oklahoma City loses this game, I think they could still win it. If Indiana loses tonight, especially if it's not close, it could get ugly. So I expect a very valiant effort by Indiana, particularly to start to lean into that home crowd. That's one of my best bets is Indiana Pacers to be leading after the first quarter tonight.
So the reality is, to JY's point, why a loss tonight for Indiana would feel damaging is they then have to win again at Oklahoma City. The Thunder have only lost 2 games on the road in these playoffs, once to the Pacers, once to the Nuggets, both by a point in
comeback fashion,
not just what?
Crazy, yeah,
exactly.
Huh?
Like I tried to fire Dagnall at the end of each games that they've lost. That's how bad the losses were. It's really, really well said. Now, ultimately, I think the Thunder will win this series. You think the Thunder will win this series, but the Indiana Pacers have not lost consecutive games in this postseason. I think there's a level of dominance. I struggle to say the word, but they have been way more dominant than you would realize. This Indiana Pacer group, JY. So you mentioned the first quarter play. How much confidence do you have that they actually win this basketball game? Or do you think it's a hot start, but the Thunder have too much?
I think it's a hot start, and then the Thunder have too much coming. That's why, interesting, the way I have this game broken up, Kevin, into 3 parts, right? The plays I like for the full game, what I like in the first quarter, and then going live after the first quarter. So let me just lay it out to you what my thought process is in regards to the first quarter. When we did the show, when we did Game 2, which if you didn't listen or watch, you should have your head checked because it was the best show. It was better than the game. I'm sorry. I get distracted sometimes. We talked about getting Halliburton off the ball and on the run. And if Kevin remembers, they had a couple times he came off of that, go from left to right, came off of that dribble handoff, ball screen on the run, hit a couple of floaters. That to me was something I was like, that's what I was looking for. I was looking to see if Rick was going to try something to see, like, okay, we may try this. So I like Tyrese Halliburton first quarter over 4.5 points. I think after he had only 3 points in the first half, 5 points after 3 quarters, I think he comes out uber aggressive. And Kevin and I talked about it in Game 2 that we didn't see until, let's be honest, Kevin, the fourth quarter, we didn't see Tyrese look like that. So I love that play. Now let me get to my live play. I think Oklahoma City is going to win the game. So if Indiana is winning and that thing starts to drop to like a 1.5 or a minus 120, 125, I'm going to then jump on the Thunder to win because I think they're going to win the game, particularly in the second half. The other thing I looked at is, and watching and looking at it, Kevin and I got to realizing the SGA plays the entire first quarter. They sit Jalen Williams the last 4 to 5 minutes, and then SGA sits the first 5 to 6 minutes of quarter 2. Mm-hmm. So when you get to the end of the quarter, go to FanDuel, get to that second quarter, and look for those special bets, and look for Jalen Williams points in the second quarter, particularly if he gets off to a slow start. In game number 2, those 5-6 minutes they came off the bench, the SGA was on the bench, Jalen Williams 7 points plus 9 in about 5 minutes. It's going to be Chet and Jalen Williams who start the second quarter together. If Jalen Williams gets off to a slow start, look at that number. If it's like 6.5, it's 7 points, like right in that range, I'm going to take that he gets 7 or more points in the second quarter. That's usually when he starts to go off.
I think that Jalen Williams enters into tonight's game where I feel as if in one of these 2 games on the road, right, and I think so much of this, the conversations that you're hearing, I know for myself, and I'm sure many others, is trying to figure out, I feel strongly about certain things happening over these next 2 games. It's figuring out, though, which game. Mm-hmm. And as I'm getting more confident that tonight I'm starting to think the Pacers will win this game and they will step up here, I am wondering a little bit on the Jalen Williams performance where I think in one of these games he's going to be pretty good. I really do. I think one of these games he's going to be bad. He's been bad to start the series. He's averaging right now 18 points per game on an atrocious 33% shooting. And that's not just off of one game. 6 of 19 in game number 1, 5 of 14 in game number 2. Jalen Williams, his performances are leaving the door open a little bit for the Indiana Pacers here. They do have to slow Shai Gilgeous-Alexander down to some degree. And I do think they are in luck because I think that they will tonight. Somewhat by their design, somewhat, again, just how I bet. You guys know how this is, right? We bounce back, we sell high. This is a sell high spot on the best player in this series, in my eyes, the best player in the world. If he goes out there tonight and scores 24, doesn't mean that isn't true anymore. He's still been incredibly dominant. But now going back to the Minnesota series, we've seen Shai score 34 or more points in 4 straight games. That's the longest run of his entire season. Shai has not had a 4-game run before this, and certainly not a 5-game run. And I think maybe what's allowed that to happen is it's 2 different opponents. It's 3 different home games. Because so far, Shai on the road in this postseason is averaging under 29 points per game. He's gone under what would be a 33.5 number in 5 of the 7 road games here. So I think Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, relative to the incredibly high standard that he is now setting for himself and the books are answering, I think he goes under that number tonight, Coach, for a best bet.
Yeah, I think there's going to be other people going to step up. You talked about Chet Holmgren a little bit earlier. To me, listen, he go under that all he wants. As long as he gets to 25, he keeps my bet alive with the 25 plus in every game of the series at minus 115. Should have took it at plus 150 on DraftKings when they had that one-day special. But I digress. Yes, I think if you're Rick Carlisle, you're going to have to say someone else is going to have to take us out. Now, the question is does Jalen Williams become that guy? Is it Chet? Look at a guy like Lou Dort. I'll have over 1.5 made threes. He took 3 shots in game 2. They were all in the first quarter. Never took a shot after again. I think you'll get that because you're not going to get 38 out of Wiggins and Caruso tonight. No way in hell.
Shai's last 2 game 3 threes combined, 32 points scored. We'll see what tonight holds. We'll take a break and then come right back with you here previewing the NBA Finals game number 3 on SportsGrid.
Enter into the magical world of McLuck.com, where even the smallest of spins can win real cash prizes. Adventure into over 1,000 of the best Vegas-style slot games. So what are you waiting for? Unlock your free welcome offer today. Join the fun where winners play and players win.
2 guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching!
Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this once? Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune in to Game Time Decisions weekdays on SportsGrid.
The game is on. The stakes are high. But the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that rim. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
Just a little flyer, couple of
15.5 point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. It's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Did you know sportsbooks tend to draw up tighter bet lines for events that get even more bettors, like championship games or major matchups? My tip, try betting on less popular sports. You might have a better shot at beating those odds. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
Okay, back with you right here on SportsGrid. We did get the Oklahoma City Thunder starting lineup, and it is the same in game number 3 as it was in games 1 and 2. JY, did you feel that that lineup worked better in game 2? What did you make ultimately of how Dagnall controlled that game off of the loss?
I thought that there was less splitting up of the minutes between Hartenstein and Holmgren, and they got them in the lineup sometimes together. We saw two different situations: high pick and roll, short roll by Hartenstein to the elbow, one dribble. There's a lob play to Chet, which they've run all year. So to me, they did a little bit more of playing them together. I would encourage them to do so. I know Kevin's got some stuff related to stocks with Chet tonight. I think that is correlated to, maybe I'm just guessing as a coach, that Kevin's going that route because he thinks that there's going to be more minutes with Hartenstein and Chet together, which allows Chet to become that weak side shot blocker instead of that straight rim protector meeting you at the front of the rim.
Yeah, I think for me, you mentioned those Chet plays. Chet is in, actually, of all of the numbers I've kind of gone through, the biggest bounce back spot for anybody on the floor today on the defensive side of the basketball. Chet has not had a steal in consecutive games. That has not happened in 3 straight games in this postseason. He has not gone over 2.5 steals plus blocks yet in this series. That has not happened in 3 straight games in this postseason. I am playing over the 2.5 steals plus blocks and over the half a steal, both at a plus price. I'll win money as long as he figures out one of those. And I do think it is, at least for me in my breakdown, JY, worth betting both, because it is possible that you see his game tonight where he has 3 or 4 blocks covering the entire portion of that bet.
Yeah, and I think, with me, if I'm looking at Chet, I'm going to go somewhere else where there's plus money, and that's his assists over 1.5. I think there's a situation where he could dime people up. You can get if you get an active Chet, particularly on the offensive boards, offensive rebound, kick out, dagger 3. So I like Chet with that. The guy bounce back spot I like tonight for Oklahoma City, I talked about it before, and that's Lou Dort. Lou Dort over 1.5 made threes is at minus 150, so you are laying a lot of juice for it. But I don't mind it for him to get to 2. This is someone that hunts shots, looks for shots. If I'm Rick Carlisle and he's not in foul trouble, I'm saying, well, I don't want SGA to do it. I don't want, obviously, Jalen Williams to get hot. So who's the third guy? It's Lou Dort, who isn't afraid of shooting the threes. Also, went over 5 of the last 6 times he's win against Indiana. So look at Lou Dort over 1.5 made threes. That's my best bet in regards to player props for OKC.
Yeah, I'm really interested just to watch how the OKC others step up here in this spot, because you had that only happens at home game of Caruso and Wiggins combining for 38 points, as you mentioned. One of the most unreal pieces of trivia in this series is there's 2 players that have scored 20 in this series, and it's SGA and Caruso, which then brings me to the Indiana Pacers. Nobody has scored 20 yet on this team. Now, there's a lot of negatives that come with that. I will just say, to score 111 and 107 on the Thunder and nobody has yet scored 20, it shows you who the Pacers are. Everybody is involved. Everybody contributes. It is the makeup of this team. Their entire starting lineup was in double digits in game number 2. I believe very close to that exact line in game number 1. So everybody is playing all right. Nobody is playing great. Scoring the basketball, I am most confident in Pascal tonight playing good enough. He is getting way too much of a pass to start these playoffs. He is a minus 25 through 2 games. All of this heat on Tyrese Halliburton. In game number 1, Halliburton was plus 12. Pascal was somehow a minus 10. Siakam got benched way earlier in the 4th quarter, something we noticed during our in-game live, off of a shooting performance where he was 3 for 11, which is 27% from the floor. I think Siakam, off the loss, scores 20 at least.
Yeah, I think I could see why you like that, because if you look at his points prop, he's been very inconsistent, right? He's gone under 3 of the last 4 games, under 10 of the last 15. And if Indiana's going to win, can they win with Halliburton giving you 15 to 18? Yeah, if he's getting people involved. But they can't win if Siakam gives them like 14, 15 points. Like, I'm not saying he's got to give you a 39 point he gave you in game 2 against the Knicks, but he's got to do more. And that's the other guy, because I think his points prop, Kevin, first quarter was 4.5 at minus money. And then that's where you start looking at matchups. Now we're going the other way now, because if you're going to go with one big, meaning Chet, go guard Miles Turner, then that means it's probably J-Dub on obviously someone like Pascal Siakam. Like, you got to go at him. Like, you have to go at him. So while I think I can get over 4.5 with Tyrese, I think it's almost as critical that Pascal Siakam plays that aggressive role, because now you have two guys that can now only create their own shot, but also two guys that can create for others. So that can lead to other players. Last game we looked at Nembhard going under his points prop. It's down to 11.5. I'm going to stay away, not touch it, but I'm going back to Benedict Mathurin, because I do think offense is going to have to come from somewhere. I think he is a guy that creates his own shot. I also think he has the ability with his strength to get to the free throw line. So if you think that, and I think Nembhard and Mathurin are inverse relationships. If you think Nembhard's going under, the one that should benefit should be Benedict Mathurin. I like Benedict Mathurin to go over. I think it's 7.5, 8.5 points tonight.
Benedict Mathurin's had an up-and-down postseason, certainly was attacking in the garbage time of game number 2, but maybe that gets him some of the momentum people have mentioned with Tyrese Halliburton and gets him going a little bit in this series. We're going to take a break. We're going to come on back. Any final thoughts? Any areas of this game that we have not uncovered? We will run through our best bets again. And since we like you so much, give you a couple of picks in the WNBA with 3 games starting at 10 o'clock Eastern time tonight. Kevin Walsh and Coach James Young, we are getting you set for the NBA Finals on SportsGrid.
If we had like Big Shot Bob for Robert Horry, what are we calling Tyrese Halliburton? Because Big Shot Bob would give you like 1 a postseason. This guy's giving you 3 in 3 rounds. What a performance down the stretch by Halliburton, and the entirety of that team sticking together, staying to the plan, and shocking everyone in the fourth quarter again.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Have control of any sport. Baseball, you can breathe. The pitcher steps off the mound, even the bottom of the 9th World Series or whatever. Football, okay, first down. Then you second down, and there's a method to it, right? The hockey is just all out reactionary, crazy, puck bouncing around everywhere. Oh my God, there's always like a scoring chance.
Sports Rage tonight, only on SportsGrid.
Dialing it back to his old days with St. Louis and Arizona. Buy or sell, Goldie will finish top 7 in fantasy first baseman.
No, I'm going to say no. I think he'll fall off. Older player here, he'll be top 10, but not top 7 here. Top 10, I would say, yeah, I'd buy it. Top 7, I'm going to say no here. I think he'll put up decent numbers here. Not as good as he was. I don't think he's going to bat 340, 350 all year long.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
I got a feeling Pittsburgh's going to the Super Bowl. I got a feeling there is no chance they're going to the Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers. I'm just kidding.
They're still not expected to have over 8.5 wins. They're still not expected to have a winning record. Now, I know things could change for the next 24 hours. I get that. But everyone expected Aaron Rodgers to sign with him. He's going to sign with him.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
Game time decisions getting you ready for the NBA Finals right here on SportsGrid. Kevin Walsh, Coach James Young. I decided, you know what? Let's do a quick bit of rapid fire NBA headlines here in JY. We are doing rapid fire, so do keep that in mind. There's a couple of things, questions, comments, maybe some concerns that you might have around the association. I'll begin with this one quickly, JY. Tyrese Halliburton's leg injury. Worried at all?
A little bit. He'll be all right. But he's going to ball over 4.5 points in the first quarter.
All right.
That was pretty quick.
That was great. That was fantastic. I find myself not worried about it at all, but we'll see if in the first quarter JY loses his bet. Probably going to have to blame it on the leg injury.
I'm trashing him.
No, we'll blame it on the injury.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay,
and then we start to get a little bit more information. The New York Knicks consistently now calling coaches currently employed, seeing if perhaps the team employing them doesn't actually want them anymore. Strike out Ime Udoka, strike out Chris Finch. Okay, saw that coming. Strike out Jason Kidd. Okay, I didn't know if that was going to happen. Calling on Quinn Snyder, the Atlanta Hawks, a little more surprising. People now in New York, JY, seemingly panicked around their coaching situation.
I got a simple solution. Me. Hire me as a head coach. Listen, I talk to Kevin. I'll do it for free.
Yeah.
I just want top travel and free meals everywhere. Give me the job. I guarantee you we'll win at least 15 games next year.
I'll just say this. I'm one of the great negotiators of my time. JY started at $2 million, and I got him down to free in like 30 seconds. Knicks fans, stop panicking. You wanted Tibbs gone. You're going to get Johnny Bryant. You'll be just fine.
Bingo.
Don't worry about anything. Lastly, Kevin Durant traded before the draft. You buy this?
No. Actually, no. Yes.
Okay.
He will get traded before the draft. Rich Kleiman is dealing with who he wants, whether it's the Rockets, the Spurs, the Knicks, so on and so forth. He'll be moved because that's what he does, and he's not going to the Wizards.
Do you have a favorite? I don't know where he's going to go. Do you have a favorite landing spot of the teams they've mentioned for
Okay,
KD?
I'm gonna sound crazy. I don't think the Spurs make sense. I think their window is not yet. I think the Rockets are intriguing depending on who they give up. I look at a team that thinks they're one player away or a big move away. I think that actually may be the Knicks.
I think the Minnesota thing is cool because I think
That's
how much
true.
Anthony Edwards looks up to him, and I think but also wants to be better than him is cool. The Knicks is the answer. If he goes to the Knicks, he's literally going to have an argument as the best player in the conference. It would be a big thing for KD to show up in New York, who were eliminated by the Indiana Pacers. We go back to game number 3 of the NBA Finals. Let us go through each and every one of these bets that we have tonight. JY, bat leadoff.
Okay, I'm going Indiana Pacers to be leading after the first quarter. I like Tyrese Halliburton over 4.5 points in the first quarter. After the first quarter, if it's close, I'm going to go ahead and take the Thunder on the money line to win as long as it's minus 150 or less. Lou Dort over 1.5 made threes. Benedict Mathurin, I think it's over 7.5 or 8.5 points. I expect a good game, but I do think the Thunder steal it at the end.
I am going with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander under 33.5 points as a best bet. That was at minus 106, I believe, maybe now minus 110 or so in the market. Pascal Siakam for 20-plus points. That is at minus 102. Basically, one guy's playing the best basketball of his career. I think you got a little bit of a stop in that tonight in SGA. Siakam's having a nightmarish two games to start this series. I think you get an uptick from him. And then I'm backing Chet Holmgren defensively, where he has not had a steal or 3 steals plus blocks yet in this series. He has not had a 3-game run where that has held true during this postseason. I think he snaps it tonight against the Indiana Pacers. As far as the winner of this game, I actually believe tonight you see the Indiana Pacers win. I somehow think that may end up coming in and under, though, JY. Your lean's on the side end total, even if they're not making your pregame card.
I'm going to lean under as well. I don't think we get the James Johnson foul twice to get Kevin to go crazy, which
What
was
a great moment.
what's the moment of the year. Really quick before we end, because I do know, I don't know if we have time, but I'm going to say real quick. WNBA, 3 props I like tonight. I like Nafisa Collier to go a double-double in 5 straight games. It's going to be a good game versus Seattle. Got to keep Awumake and Megaber off the board. Second, Satu Sabli over 21.5 points in the match tonight. You do get Alyssa Thomas back at the table center. Do know Paige Beckers is back as well. And then my best bet, Asia Wilson. She going to be in a bad mood. Over 6.5 points in the first quarter. Averages 7 in wins. 10 versus the Sparks. Someone's going to have to pay, and it's going to be Dariqa Hamby and the Sparks tonight.
Should be a good slate. My favorite spot is the Seattle Storm. I think they beat the Minnesota Lynx, hand them their first loss. Lynx's schedule has been incredibly soft. Game Time Decisions NBA Finals Extended Edition is back for you on Friday with Coach in the chair. I'm back with you tomorrow for the Stanley Cup Final. The in-game live crew will have you covered tonight, though, for what is the pivotal game so far in this series. The winner is going to be favored to win it, unless, of course, it's Indiana Pacers, who will probably still be about 4-1 to win this series. I cannot wait to watch this thing play out. For Coach James Young, I'm Kevin Walsh. In-game live, and the NBA Finals are next.
It'll be interesting to see what the Knicks do, but the Knicks are at a point now where they don't have to blow it up. They may still do so, and they have a right to do so, but with trading the 4 first-round picks and the pick swap for Mikal Bridges, the Knicks don't have a lot of room in regards to actual picks to throw at people.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
No one is going to pick Indiana. No one's going to pick Indiana to make it close, honestly. Like, you can't really, you could get tremendous odds if you pick OKC in 7.
I think that taking the series over 5.5 games, the last 2 NBA Finals series ended in 5. I think this one goes 6. I think the Thunder will get the job done, but I think the Pacers are just too strong of a team and too talented of a team and too deep of a team to lose in 5 or fewer games.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
The Knicks really got past that playoff dragon for them that really stood in their way. So for the New York Knicks to be the Celtics and then an outright favorite to win the Eastern Conference Finals, that's where the disappointment is.
The goalposts got moved, right? Because when you went into the Celtics series, a lot of Knicks fans said they weren't going to beat it. This, I'll say this is more unprecedented than the 99 run when they were the 8th seed.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Face. It's the new face. New face of what? The hell are you talking about? Like seriously. Oh, the new face of the NBA, Anthony. Yeah, okay. You know what I mean? Like, really? Guy's got 2 shots. You're face of the NBA. Slow down. He's a good player. I've always thought the whole face of the NBA thing was comical. You want him to be the face of the NBA because you don't like it that all the other faces in the NBA aren't American.
Sports Rage tonight. Only on...
And welcome in. It's in-game live game day on this wild, wonderful Wednesday. And oh, what a game we have. Game 3 NBA Finals. Nice job by the boys prepping us. And we'll take you through the first, probably about an hour and a half, which should be, depending on when they actually tip off, about the first half or so. Scott and Dave, hour number 1 of our 2-hour, hour and a half extravaganza. NBA center stage. We got a little bit of baseball here, Dave. Great lineup of guests. Gilbert McGregor, sportingnews.com will join us in a little bit. We got Cam Stewart a little bit later on, and our good buddy Jeff Dawson from EastCoastSportsInvestors.com. So with that said, what's going on, my friend? How are you on this Wednesday night?
Good to see you. We got a stacked lineup here in this first segment before we get to Big G, which I like to call Gil in the second segment. You got to give the people, we got no 5 on the line tonight, but we got all kind of prop bets, all kind of things, and a staple of the show every day. What are we leading off with here?
Yes, we have our SGP same game parlay to start things off. All right, obviously, you know the game we're going to use, right? Game 3, Indiana versus the Oklahoma City Thunder. We're going to go risky tonight, but that's okay because we're going to cash this ticket. We're taking OKC plus the 5.5. No. Who needs 5.5 when you're going to win outright? Give me Indiana plus the 180 money line. Give me over 228. You might be able to get it at 227 now. It's going to lower the point or so around many books. Give me over Tyrese Halliburton 17.5 points. No way this dude doesn't get 18 points after being criticized the last 3 days for not being aggressive enough. Give me Halliburton 6 assists as well. He can get that in a half. No big deal there. And then give me Gilchrist Alexander only 25 points. We'll lower his number. It's up 33.5 or so, 34.5, depending on where you do your shopping. Add it all up, and you got yourself a nice almost 7-to-1 parlay. Indiana money line over Gilchrist Alexander, 25 points, not his real number. Halliburton 6 assists, and then Halliburton his real number over 17.5 points. I think Indiana wins tonight outright, Dave.
You've been right about this before. Game 1, you were one of the only people that I know in the space or around, and we had to call you a genius, and you were a genius that night, Game 1, when Indiana did win. I am going to respectfully disagree with you tonight. I like OKC to win the game, so I would rather have them. The steam is on the under. That doesn't mean it's going to get there, but you're on the over, so I kind of like that. I think Halliburton goes under his points.
Do you really?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. And then the other two look good. So I'm calling 3 out of 5 on the same game parlay, but again, it doesn't mean it's not going to get there. Did that same game parlay hit last night with the Giants? Did we get there with that one?
We had everything except the one guy who was minus 4-1 to get a base hit. He was the schmuck that didn't get it done. We got Yastrzemski with the RBI or the hit, and we had Flores with the RBI. We had it all except the one guy Ramos not to get the hit, and he was like I said, he was the major minus 4-1. I mean,
yep, that happens.
I thought
that happened.
I told you the story, right? We talked about that last night.
The Giants get there. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, how great was that? You know, we hit with our 5 on the line with the Giants and the under. But I told you, you know, every once in a while these things just pop out. I was not going to, right? You said you should really keep it 4. And I said I was going to keep it 4, and I was going to take out the minus 4-1, but it lowered it like 150 points. And I'm like, for a 4-1 dog, I might as well put that in there, right? And lo and behold, somehow or another, that was the one. So go figure. All right, we do have a bunch of props here. Yeah, let me throw a bunch of props at you for the NBA game, and you tell me what you think, and then we'll save our best for last, our pullover side of the road play. Halliburton, I know we're going to disagree on this stuff because I love Halliburton tonight. I think he's going to score the first 3 minutes. There's actually a prop on FanDuel that gives you, will he score the first 3 minutes plus 210 after being ripped for the last 3 days about being too soft and not coming out strong enough. I love this bet. I love the over 17.5 point bet as well because I think he's going to hit the number. I like SGA over 33.5 points. Some books it's up to 34.5, but on the road, he's got to pick up the offense. I like Gilchrist Alexander to get 2 3-pointers. That's minus 122. He gets it, half the time. And I like Gilchrist Alexander to get a double-double at plus 260, which he's had already, a couple times. So, and he's due for a double-double. 10 assists, he's going to get 10 points. So, what do you think about those?
I like this one. I think SGA could get a double-double. The minus 122 for 2 made threes seems almost too easy and almost too light.
Right.
33.5. What was the juice on this one? Did you lay heavy juice over?
Not when I put it in this afternoon.
Okay.
I know it's gone up to 34 in some places, 34.
Yeah.
But when I had it earlier, it was just minus 110.
That one may be a little bit iffy and close.
Yeah.
There's the Halliburton one I like under. You got over 17.5. I think he gets under. This is kind of taking a shot. I don't mind it because you're getting plus 210. But, I would have to turn in my book guy license if I said I like that one. That would probably be one I'd be like, yeah, let this guy bet this. Come on in, plus 210. What else? What else you got cooking?
Right.
I mean, we got a lot of
we
stuff.
We got our pullover side of the road play, right?
Oh my.
FanDuel's offering, God bless FanDuel, will each Indiana Pacer starting player record 10 points or more at 2-1. They did it both in games 1 and 2. They've done it real quickly 11 of the 18 postseason games. So I'm getting something that's happened way more often than not, and they're still giving me 2-1. We've got to get it in. Hurry up before they start, which they just did. Maybe you can still get it in.
Okay. To record 10-plus points, 5 starters. They've done it 11 out of 18 games, so that's 11-7 equates. Okay, so you got plus $2. You got a pretty decent price. If it's a blowout, does this game happen? Does this bet happen? I think that's the one that's the worry, right? If this gets out of hand, they may not get there. But I think that's a good bet.
Yeah. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. Not Indiana at home. If it's a blowout Indiana, I think it gets there just because the starters are doing well. And I don't think they're going to get blown out at home. So, Halliburton, Siakam, Turner, Nembhard, and Nesmith. They both did it in games 1 and 2, and it's 11-7. So, all right, time for our best play of the day. We got to get this in because first pitch is coming up here in a second. Black Cloud play of the day. No stinger. That's okay. We don't need a stinger. Who needs a stinger? We need the winner. It's San Francisco. All right. You had it last night, Dave. You said don't lay the run and a half. They score 4 in the bottom or top of the ninth. They win by 1 for the 7th straight time. Right? It's crazy. What they're doing, but they just own Colorado. 9-1 their last 10. They got their best pitcher on the hill in Robbie Ray. He's 8-1. Colorado's got a pitcher that's 1-8. The antithesis on the hill. I don't know how Colorado wins this baseball game. So give me San Fran laying the minus 205. Put it in a parlay if you don't want to lay it straight.
The Rockies have a Major League Baseball worst 201 batting average versus left-handed pitchers. They've lost 18 of the 19 games in which they faced a left-handed starting pitcher this season. I will ask you this question, Scott Wetzel. Which hand does Robbie Ray throw the ball with?
Last time I checked, he's not ambidextrous, so he's not like Ohtani. He's a lefty. You realize Ohtani is actually ambidextrous? So.
I don't even want to talk about that. Robbie Ray's given up 4 runs in his last 4 starts combined. That's 27 innings pitched. He's got 32 strikeouts and only 5 walks, and he throws left-handed. I'm excited that the Black Cloud play of the night is the Giants again, and it's only minus 205.
Yeah, I'm surprised it's not a little bit more, albeit it is on the road. I get that. But, so we got our Black Cloud in. We got our NBA plays in. Gilbert McGregor, SportingNews.com. Join us next. We'll talk some NBA with him.
It'll be interesting to see what the Knicks do, but the Knicks are at a point now where they don't have to blow it up. They may still do so, and they have a right to do so, but with trading the 4 first-round picks and the pick swap for Mikal Bridges, the Knicks don't have a lot of room in regards to actual picks to throw at people.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
No one is going to pick Indiana. No one's going to pick Indiana to make it close, honestly. Like, you could get tremendous odds if you pick OKC in 7.
I think that taking the series over 5.5 games, the last 2 NBA Finals series ended in 5. I think this one goes 6. I think the Thunder will get the job done, but I think the Pacers are just too strong of a team and too talented of a team and too deep of a team to lose in 5 or fewer games.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
The Knicks really got past that playoff dragon for them that really stood in their way. So for the New York Knicks to be the Celtics and then an outright favorite to win the Eastern Conference Finals, that's where the disappointment is.
The goalpost got moved, right? Because when you went into the Celtics series, a lot of Knicks fans said they weren't going to beat it. I'll say this is more unprecedented than the 99 run when they were the 8th seed.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
Face. It's the new face. New face of what? The hell are you talking about? Like seriously. Oh, the new face of the NBA, Anthony. Yeah, okay. You know what I mean? Like, really? Guy's got 2 shots. You're the face of the NBA. Slow down. He's a good player. I've always thought the whole face of the NBA thing was comical. You want him to be the face of the NBA because you don't like it that all the other faces in the NBA aren't American.
Sports Rage tonight, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. Scott and Dave just getting underway. We got our plays in. Now it's just sit back, relax, watch a little NBA, maybe a little baseball as well. But obviously NBA the focus. Dave likes OKC. I like Indiana. Let's find out who Gilbert McGregor likes. SportingNews.com. Our good buddy joins us from time to time here on the grid. What's going on, Gilbert? What side you on? You on OKC or Indiana tonight?
I'm leaning OKC in a close one tonight. At least that's how I felt going into it based on what we've seen from both of these teams in the playoffs. It feels like OKC got their swagger back, figured something out in game 2, and I think that carries over to tonight.
Anyone in particular you like to have a big performance in game 3? Scott's all over Halliburton, over his point total. I kind of think it goes under. Obviously, everybody likes SGA. Anybody in particular you're looking at to, kind of show up and show out tonight?
Easy to say now that we're a few minutes into this game, but coming into it, I was expecting a big Chet Holmgren game. I think we'll see that. They made a few changes for him with his assignment defensively. I think he was able to play a little more freely in game 2, and I think he's off to a good start tonight, rebounding the ball well and scoring well as also. So the only thing interesting was in game 2, he had a strong start and then kind of tapered off. So the big thing for him tonight is going to be, can he keep that up through the first, second, third, and fourth quarters, because that'll be a big key for them winning tonight.
15-6 early on. Gilbert, all 6 points, timeout on the court for Indiana here. All 6 points from Siakam. So are you a little surprised? I am, that Halliburton didn't come out firing after all the criticism he took over the last 3 days about, not showing up for the first 3 quarters of game 2 and being told you can't do that and blah, 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 blah. I really thought he'd come out flying tonight.
Yeah, it's interesting because you think about how tough Oklahoma City's defense is, and that's a big part of why he struggled. They are tough for a player, especially a guard of his caliber, because they can keep throwing bodies at him between Dort and Wallace and Alex Caruso. Life is difficult for him right now offensively, and I think they figured some things out at the end of game 2, had him playing off the ball a little more, and he scored. I know they were, garbage time points, quote-unquote garbage time points anyway, but they did change things up offensively. But he's dealing with that lower leg issue. I don't know if it's his ankle or his Achilles. I think that might be limiting him. So there's so many factors at play. I'm not super surprised. It's really hard to know what to expect because he's already a player who's up and down a little bit. So you up and down, you're dealing with an injury, and you're playing a tough defense. It makes for something that's really hard to predict.
Big G, before the series started, the most bet on scenario exact result was OKC in 5. Now, they lost game 1 at home, easily win game 2 at home. We're 1-1. They're out to a fast start tonight. Say they win. Can Indiana win another game in this series, or are you thinking this could be over that quickly in 5?
Coming into it, I said Thunder in 6. So I have to stick with my initial word.
Okay.
I know some different things have changed, but based on what we've seen throughout this playoffs from the Pacers, I think that people just underestimate them so much. And I thought that they would be strong enough to sneak up and get a win like they did in game 1. And they should get at least one at home as well. So if they don't get it tonight, I think they'll get game 4. If they get tonight, I think they'll lose game 4. But I think these two teams are bound to split back in Indiana. Then the Thunder get the job done. But I just think that Indiana is just too strong to just go out in 5.
Yeah, that's what I thought, Gilbert. And listen, I took some criticism the last couple of days when I was telling people I didn't think OKC was really that good. They had a great year, phenomenal year, right? I mean, you can't argue that. But if you just dissected the team, the antithesis of Wall Street, great movie, they're worth more together than apart, unlike the Wall Street movie, right? I mean, who on this team outside of SGA, honestly, if I use the scenario, put the best player from OKC on and then the second best player, and then the third best player, the fourth best player, and so on, against every other team's second, third, fourth, fifth best player. And outside of SGA, I don't think you'd be drafting one OKC player. I really don't. So they had a great, but do you really think they're like that good?
I don't know, Scott. This team won 68 games, and they did it by a historic average margin of victory. Shea is obviously far
I know. Who would you take on the
their
team?
best player. Jalen Williams.
Who would you take on a
He's an
team
all-star.
outside of SGS?
I love Jalen Williams. Jalen Williams, I think he's an all-star. He was all defense this year. I think he's a guy, and he's just in his third year as well. They have a bunch of young guys, and I think that they are. I sum of all the parts. They have a very scary defense, and the star power is a little bit lacking, but I do think the guys who will be stars on this team, Jalen Williams, Chet Holmgren, they're so young. This is year 3 for both of them. They were drafted in 2022. I think that 3 years down the line, we'll be like, dang, they had all those guys on the same team. Similar to kind of what we talked about with the Raptors in 2019 when they had Fred VanVleet and Pascal Siakam and all those guys where it didn't really seem like they were that good. It was just really Kawhi at the time, but then 2 or 3 years later, it ages really well because you realize how much talent's on that roster. I think that the Thunder are similar to that.
Good call. I got to ask you because I haven't seen you. We love having you on the show, Big G. What do you think about Tibbs getting fired from the Knicks when he did, and then this inability to know that they're unable to talk to anyone that might be able to take the job? What do you make of this situation?
It's looking pretty bad right now. I think the interesting thing is it really looks like they didn't have a plan, right? And if you're going to fire a coach who took you to the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time in 25 years, you better have a plan. And maybe they can spin it and say, hey, we know we're the only vacancy and we're New York and we're a job that people should want. But again, they fired a guy, and I saw somebody just post this recently. They fired a guy who made it to the conference finals. It's in New York City. Championship or bust is basically the expectations, and that's a lot of expectations to walk into in the biggest media market in the world. So thinking about all of that, it's not necessarily the most enticing job for just anybody. You have to kind of be built for that. Similar to the Lakers opening last year, maybe they will find somebody, but basically my biggest takeaway right now is I don't think they had a plan when they fired Tibbs.
Amazing. What are the Suns going to get for Kevin Durant, and do you agree with them trading him?
I do agree with them trading him. I think it's time. Time is up, and they need to start rebuilding. I think they're going to rebuild around Devin Booker. They have to figure out something with Bradley Beal as well. They might have to buy him out and give him $80, $90 million. But the sooner you can cut ties, the better. I think they can get a lot for Kevin Durant. I know he's 37 years old or about to be 37 years old, but he's still one of the best scorers in the game and one of the best scorers to ever pick up a basketball. They should be able to get some young talent. They should be able to get a draft pick from him. So I got my eyes on the Rockets and the Spurs. I think those are the two teams who can offer the most for him and also have the most to gain from bringing him. So maybe we see Kevin Durant playing with Victor Wembanyama. Sounds crazy to say.
Yeah.
That would be crazy to see.
Yeah. Him in a Knick uniform. I still don't get why that didn't work. I mean, I understand it didn't. And I understand that you're at that point where it's just like, you know what, we tried, we failed, but it just didn't happen. But I'm amazed it still did. Gilbert, great job as always. Check out all the stuff. SportingNews.com. Gilbert, we'll do it again soon. Thanks.
Sounds good. Appreciate you guys.
It'll be interesting to see what the Knicks do, but the Knicks are at a point now where they don't have to blow it up. They may still do so, and they have a right to do so, but with trading the 4 first-round picks and the pick swap for Mikal Bridges, the Knicks don't have a lot of room in regards to actual picks to throw at people.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
No one is going to pick Indiana. No one's going to pick Indiana to make it close, honestly. Like, you could get tremendous odds if you pick OKC in 7.
I think that taking the series over 5.5 games, the last 2 NBA Finals series ended in 5. I think this one goes 6. I think the Thunder will get the job done, but I think the Pacers are just too strong of a team and too talented of a team and too deep of a team to lose in 5 or fewer games.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
The Knicks really got past that playoff dragon for them that really stood in their way. So for the New York Knicks to be the Celtics and then an outright favorite to win the Eastern Conference Finals, that's where the disappointment is.
The goalposts got moved, right? Because when you went into the Celtics series, a lot of Knicks fans said they weren't going to beat it. I'll say this is more unprecedented than the 99 run when they were the 8th seed.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Face. It's the new face. New face of what? The hell are you talking about? Like seriously. Oh, the new face of the NBA, Anthony. Yeah, okay. You know what I mean? Like, really? Guy's got 2 shots. You're the face of the NBA. Slow down. He's a good player. I've always thought the whole face of the NBA thing was comical. You want him to be the face of the NBA because you don't like it that all the other faces of the NBA aren't American.
Sports Rage tonight, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. Thanks again, Gilbert McGregor. Check out sportingnews.com, NBA writer for sportingnews.com. Normally do our Black Cloud play of the day, but because all the action started a little bit earlier, so we threw that out there in our first segment, which was 8:30 because of the NBA stuff. Eastern time anyway. So don't forget, it is San Francisco minus the 205 versus Colorado. Missed out on the Dodgers last night, who only scored one stinking run. They just didn't come to play. As soon as they lost a couple of games, or as soon as they gave up a couple of runs, rather, they showed no interest in playing in that game. So back to the winner's circle, hopefully tonight with that one. Did send out a poll question, Dave. Kept it nice and simple. You know, don't have to be a genius to figure out, this one. Best bet for Game 3, NBA Finals tonight. And we got OKC minus 5.5 leading the way. Of course, they are leading, but okay, I'll take it for what it's worth. Getting 44% of the vote so far. Indiana getting 32% plus the 5.5. You see there. Over 227.5, 14.5%, and then under getting around 8.5% of minus the 227.5. If I gave you a free $100 bet on any one of those four, what would you have done tonight?
I would have had to decide between OKC and the over, and usually would have gone with the total. So I think over would get the free C note for me. I still think OKC is going to win the game. I would rather lay it than take the points, but you give me that free 100. I think you give me the over the total. So we're off to a little bit of a right on the number pace. My book here has 226.5 at this pause of play. So we're still right on that number. How about you? What's your single?
I think I would have done that too. I mean, I really do. I like the Indiana team points over 110.5. It was to start the game, down from 111.5. I really like that one. But since obviously that wasn't an option, I would have gone with the over as well. I think it's going to be an over series. Got lucky Game 2. Really, you can make the case Game 2 shouldn't have gone over. Game 1 didn't. I didn't think Game 1 would just because of the long layoff. But I thought it was going to be an up and down series. Were you surprised that the line dropped a point and a half with the over under before tip off?
Yeah, there was some huge steam move that today, like out in Vegas. It got as low as 226. And
that's what I
it
saw
started
too.
to trickle back up. Yeah, so not surprised because a lot of times that's what happens if as you switch venues, the first game in the new joint, they always bet under, whether it gets there or not. I mean, they like to take that shot. I get it, but if Indiana is going to keep this competitive, they have to run. They have to play with pace. No pun intended. The Pacers have to play with pace. So the game should go over, again, if it stays close. Now, the danger is if it doesn't stay close and OKC gets up big again, all right, maybe it'll go under. But I feel like they're going to take their punches, they're going to take their shots, and the Pacers are going to stay around at least for a while, first half, first quarter, until maybe garbage time. So let's get this thing over to total.
Yeah. A lot more unders as well in these NBA Finals. I told you, they brought in a 8-game under streak heading into the Finals. They split 1-1, but since 2013, overs now 29, unders 39. So 10 more unders over the last 12 seasons in these NBA Finals for whatever reasons, with a couple of pushes thrown in there. And then, like I said, 8 straight heading into this. So I do think we're going to get some points, but this is, we keep on hearing about how great OKC's defense is, and I'm like, all right, we'll see. This is 2025. How great can it be? I mean, they're still giving up over 100 points a game. This is not Pistons defense here.
When they win the NBA championship, you have to promise me you're going to give them their due. When they win the NBA championship, because you've been downplaying OKC.
Not if,
Not if,
but when.
When they win it, you just have to say, look, that's a pretty good basketball team. You don't have to say much, but you have to just acknowledge their presence. They did win 68 games, like Gil said. You have to say, okay. You don't have to say you were wrong. I know that's a hard thing for Wetzel to say.
Well,
I understand that.
I wouldn't be wrong. I really wouldn't. Tomorrow I'll take the time. We don't have time today because it's so cram-packed. But look at every single NBA roster's second and third best player. And tell me you would rather have OKC's second and third best player versus, whoever's. And I'm telling you, would you rather have Jaylen Brown and Kristaps Porzingis or, the two guys on OKC?
I want the trophy.
You'd be surprised.
Give me the trophy.
Hour number 2 coming up.
It'll be interesting to see what the Knicks do, but the Knicks are at a point now where they don't have to blow it up. They may still do so, and they have a right to do so, but with trading the 4 first-round picks and the pick swap for Mikal Bridges, the Knicks don't have a lot of room in regards to actual picks to throw at people.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
No one is going to pick Indiana. No one's going to pick Indiana to make it close, honestly. Like, you could get tremendous odds if you pick OKC in 7.
I think that taking the series over 5.5 games, the last 2 NBA Finals series ended in 5. I think this one goes 6. I think the Thunder will get the job done, but I think the Pacers are just too strong of a team and too talented of a team and too deep of a team to lose in 5 or fewer games.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
The Knicks really got past that playoff dragon for them that really stood in their way. So for the New York Knicks to be the Celtics and then an outright favorite to win the Eastern Conference Finals, that's where the disappointment is.
The goalposts got moved, right? Because when you went into the Celtics series, a lot of Knicks fans said they weren't going to be this. I'll say this is more unprecedented than the 99 run when they were the 8 seed.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Face. It's the new face. New face of what? The hell are you talking about? Like seriously. Oh, the new face of the NBA, Anthony. Yeah, okay. You know what I mean? Like, really? Guy's got 2 shots. The face of the NBA. Slow down. He's a good player. I've always thought the whole face of the NBA thing was comical. You want him to be the face of the NBA because you don't like it that all the other faces of the NBA aren't American.
Sports Rage tonight, only on SportsGrid.
And welcome back. It is in-game live game day here on a Wednesday. NBA Finals Game 3 Wednesday. Decent little pace back and forth they go. Scott and Dave, hour number 2 until 10 p.m. Eastern time. Keeping an eye on things before we hand it off to Cam and Gabe. They'll take you over the next 2 here on the grid. So quick little update. They got final minute, first quarter. OKC leading at 29-24. 3. They just missed a free throw. So OKC by 6. Final minute. Dave and I welcome in our second guest of the evening, our good buddy, Jeff Dawson, East Coast Sports Investors, who we have on all the time here on the grid, eastcoastsportsinvestors.com. What's going on, Jeff? How are you on this Wednesday evening?
Defense travels, gentlemen. Defense wins championships, and 23 times 4 gets me well under the 111.5. Here for the Pacers. I was listening to you guys stage, of course. Tough game. I mean, as Dave said, not if when OKC wins this championship, whether it's 5, 6, or 7, we're going to look back at a 68-win team here, a team we're not comparing to Jordan, Larry, Magic, or any of those guys, but a well-rounded and a great team great young team that's going to be around for a while, guys.
Yeah. So you got the team total under 111.5. You said you like that because we were talking about the total, kind of conflicted, both leaning over. We're on the pace for the game to be right on the number. But this is your play in this game?
Yeah, team total under 111.5. Listen, usually OKC has that one clunker on the road. The Pacers got their attention. We were on last week with you guys. The underdog, if they're going to steal one, it's game one, and that's what the Pacers did. OKC returned the favor in game two, couple days off. Was unsure of the pace here. I just thought either which way, the Pacers would stay under 112. Is it OKC in defense? Is it the Pacers too jacked up here with the home crowd? Or is it the Pacers run OKC out of the building and blow them out, and OKC's waving the white flag in the fourth quarter? But I like the pace right now, so team total under 111.5.
Who'd you like in the game, ultimately? I know that's not your play, but, just from, talking, who'd you think is going to win tonight?
I think OKC. I think they got their attention in game one. Now, the whole world has OKC in 5, so were they going to win the next 4? Probably not, but I think if the Pacers were to steal one, I think they'll get their sea legs today, and I think they got a better shot at winning game 4 and making it a best of 3, and OKC wins game 5, comes back to the Pacers, and wins it in 6 then.
All right, little baseball. Let's jump to that because you're not at Fenway with the Red Sox and Roman Anthony's family and everything like that. But the Giants was the Black Cloud play of the night. The Giants total is on your list of best bets. It's currently 2-0 San Francisco. The total is exactly still this. You still like under?
Listen, this San Francisco team got me bad last night. We had their team total over 6.5, got stuck on stupid and 6 runners in scoring position in the 9th. This number screamed under here. Ray and Freeland. Sam Fran has been fabulous with Ray pitching. Of course, the Giants get out and score 2 early here. I expect Ray to lean on them. Should have a good outing here. How about a nice 6-2 final Giants here? No sweat. Keep it under the 10.5, guys.
Yeah, 15-1, Jeff, under is San Francisco, including last night. It just snuck under the under. I mean, 15-1. I was surprised. Freeland actually pitched well his last outing. I mean, I know he stinks. He's 1-8, but he did pitch well his last outing. I was surprised it was 10.5 for this game. Were you? Not a little lower?
I think I know what I'm going to get from Ray here, and it's just Freeland. It's not the old Coors Field here where it's 15, 14.5. Those were Dave Sharapan specials back in the day. Now you're seeing 10.5s and 11. Last night was 11.5, and it lands on 11. I mean, how do you guys do it? Now they give you a 10.5. It'll probably land on 10 guys, So I like it to stay under. I think it'll be more because of Ray. And then Freeland, looking to get them 4 or 5 innings, and hopefully the bullpen doesn't blow up.
I was instructed that you had the Astros on the list as well. They're hosting the White Sox. What was the play there? Over 4.5 team total? This looks like a winner already.
Oh, Dave, now I'm going to have to call you tonight when you're getting ready for bed and it lands on 4. They put up 3 early. Yes, they did. They're up 3-0. We need still 2 more runs, Dave. Don't really like Burke here, but the Astros offense has not been the Astros offense of old. No Kyle Tucker, of course, and no Bregman there. So they're still trying to find their way around, but I thought they'd get to 5 or better tonight, guys.
All right, we got 3 10 o'clock Eastern time WNBA games getting underway in about an hour or so. Not going with Minnesota-Seattle. A little surprised Minnesota only a 3.5-point road favorite, but you like the Sparks and Aces game. Where are you going there?
Well, before I go to this game, I sent our good friend, the producer, Mr. Matt George, I says, I am going to do Coach Young a big favor here. He'll be proud of me. I did like the upset here with Seattle plus the 3.5 or 4. I did like the money line as well, but I'm told Minnesota's the best team in the WNBA. So I left that on the desk, but I smell an upset here, so we'll find out for sure.
What about Vegas and LA?
Yeah,
you like that one?
That overnight number was 11, and this morning was 9.5. At Circa was a 9 with a 5 cent, meaning next move was going to go to 8.5. Guys, we got it at 9.5. Little rivalry here, Los Angeles. Quick little flyover to Vegas here. I expect Las Vegas to win the game, but I like the 9.5. Under over right now a 168. So, 85, 90. Yeah, I think the Sparks keep it within 9.5 tonight, guys.
Hit refresh on your screen because the Astros do have 5, so you can comfortably relax. It's 5-0 Houston, so that's good. Have nothing to worry about there. It's not on the list, but I know you're watching the hockey. Florida took control of that series and that game. It got ugly at the end. 6-1. It should have been 5-1 and under 6.5, but it was 6-1 and over 6.5. What are you looking at tomorrow night? We have a hockey game to talk about. Do you like a side or a total and anything like that? Then
I think I mean the first 3 games here, guys. First period over and over. And I remember watching the other night Scott trying to wish that under home. Everyone says it's a must-win for the Oilers. I like the Oilers. I like them in the first period especially. I think they're going to find a way, dig deep to even this up at 2-2, guys. Plus the 126. I'll take their team total over the 3.5 as well.
Is it do or die if they were to lose in your eyes? No. Could Edmonton win 3 in a row? No, huh? Wow. Would they go down in 5?
Time.
Yeah, last year.
They were down 3-0, so I don't think they're dead.
Okay. All right. Jeff, great job as always. Good luck with all your plays,
Thank you, guys.
We'll do it again soon. Thanks, Jeff. East Coast Sports Investors.
Thank you.
Enter into the magical world of McLuck.com, where even the smallest of spins can win real cash prizes. Adventure into over 1,000 of the best Vegas-style slot games. So what are you waiting for? Unlock your free welcome offer today. Join the fun where winners play and players win.
2 guys that can do it all. It's
too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching!
Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this once? Oh, Donnie, you've got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune in to Game Time Decisions weekdays on SportsGrid.
The game is on. The stakes are high. But the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that roof. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple of
15.5 point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. That's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Did you know sportsbooks sportsbooks tend to draw up tighter bet lines for events that get even more bettors, like championship games or major matchups. My tip? Try betting on less popular sports. You might have a better shot at beating those odds. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
All right, welcome back. In-game live, game day here on the grid. Again, thanks to Jeff Dawson, EastCoastSportsInvestors.com for all his plays. So NBA, we got second quarter action underway. Pacers not really on the cusp of getting blown out in the first quarter, but they were down, I don't know if they were down double digits, but 8-9 points, that's for sure. Right now they cut the lead to 4, 34-30, so they got the OKC right where they want them, trailing. You can count on one hand, it seems like. Whenever I turn the TV set on and I watch a Pacers game, they're actually leading. I mean, every single game has got to be a comeback game for them, but pace not bad, Dave. I mean, it's on pace for the over, 226.5, which I think that favors Indiana. I can't see Indiana winning a lower scoring game, whereas I could see OKC winning both ways. But, you would think Indiana's got to run and gun and go up and down the court. So 30 points for the Pacers, 34 for OKC. Line is 6.5. About a point or so more than what it was to start the game. And like I said, the over-under now sides at 227.5, like exactly basically what it was to start the contest.
Pretty good number to start the game as far as the total. The odds makers are quick to pat themselves on the back for that. We always loved when the game stayed close to the number on the pace. Indiana hasn't had a lead yet. It's the second quarter, 10 minutes in. So I love to look at the largest lead. It's 9 for OKC and 0 for the Pacers. So there's no time. It's not time to panic or anything like that. It's just OKC got out to a little faster start. We're going to see this thing hover around this number. There's not long runs like there was in game 1. Didn't see it in game 2. There hasn't been it in game 3 yet, where there's long runs, 8 points or more by one team. So whether we see that this quarter or not, I don't know. But Indiana's relaxed. I mean, they're just working the ball, looking for a shot.
Yeah. Two things here, points-wise. If you didn't want to lay the 34.5 because you got burned the other day because he only had 34 when everyone was betting over Gilchrist Alexander at 34.5, which really stunk. He's down at 29.5 now. He's got 6 points, little juice to the over, 130, but, man, you could count on one hand how many times he hasn't had 30 points in a playoff game. And at least one of them was in a blowout. So, and I don't think they're getting blown out tonight. I think that's a discount. And then the other one is Chet Holmgren, the great Chet Holmgren. He's got 15 points already. They're giving you 24.5 for him. I don't think he's getting 25. I don't know how he's got, we saw this in game 2. He came out flying and got like 10, 12 points in the first quarter and then only ended up with 15. Barely got over his number. So I like the Gilchrist Alexander over 30.5, and I like Holmgren under 24.5. I don't think he goes for 25. Okay.
I like Chet's fast start. He's had a bunch of open lanes right to the basket, dunk, dunk, dunk. He's getting the opportunities. Now, playing him under would make sense that they would change something and he wouldn't get those opportunities. I'm more curious right now about your Indiana Pacers 5 starters all getting double digits. Where are we at with that? Yeah.
Yeah, let us.
So we got Siakam with 9, Naismith with 2, Turner with 3, Halliburton only has 5, and Nembhard only has a point. He's only taken 1 shot. Yeah.
Nembhard's the one that's going to kill me.
You think?
He's the one that if you look back and see the 7 games that they didn't all, like he was the majority, the one, the more times than not, Nembhard. So I gotta sweat that. I'm okay. Siakam's obviously going to get 1. Halliburton's going to get 10. I'm not really worried about him. Turner's going to get his 10. I'm pretty sure. It was kind of Nembhard and Neesmith. Both those were the two that I kind of worried a little bit about. But we're okay. Nembhard. But what's his total? Maybe we could hedge, get all the others to go over,
right,
and then hedge on
his in-game adjusted total. Yeah.
7.5.
Take a look. Oh boy.
My luck, he'll get 8. My luck, he'll get 8 or 9. No, can't do that. We need him to get 1 bucket. Get it to like 3, and then maybe they'll bump it back up to 10.
Right.
So,
not
happy.
Giants are leading 3-0, top of the third, over the Rockies. That's good. The Mets are doing what they're supposed to be doing. Bottom of the 8th, they're up 5-0 against the Nationals. Yankees putting them one on the Royals. Surprise, surprise, 5-0 there. Twinkies 6-2 over the Rangers. That game may go over. The Rangers under has been one of the staples on the show, so that one's on pace to go over. And the Astros are up a touchdown, 7-0 against the White Sox. Yeah.
I'll tell you what. I mean, you talk about the PP, public parlay. I'd have to check the scores and go over from earlier today. But as far as tonight's concerned, I mean, who's betting Colorado? Nobody. I don't care. The White Sox won last night. Who's betting the White Sox? Nobody. Who's betting the Nationals without Mackenzie Gore on the hill? Nobody.
Nobody.
And then the Stankies, you want to hear a great number in, hold on a second, in 50, 60, where is it? Last, 10, 12, whatever years against the Royals. Okay. 68 games.
Yep.
Guess how many wins, little pop quiz. Guess how many wins the Yankees have in 68 games against Kansas City the last whatever year, 5-6 years that is.
34 would be half, so I would say 34, and then half of that, maybe 16, 52 wins? 50 or 52?
You got it. 50. Exactly. 50 and 18.
Yeah.
Is
ridiculous.
That crazy or what?
That is ridiculous.
Including 21-8 at Kansas City. I knew it last night. I didn't know the number. Just watching this stuff, I just never see the Yankees lose. Never to this team. And I said, I got to look it up, because we brought it up last night. 50-18 against Kansas City the last 6-7 years.
Good thing they're not in the same division for Kansas City.
Oh, my goodness.
Right?
Right?
That would be terrible. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and that's been halfway decent Royal teams. The Yankees have been good. I get that. But, Royals haven't been that bad. Yep. Amazing. All right. The in-game live game day continues here in the grid.
It'll be interesting to see what the Knicks do, but the Knicks are at a point now where they don't have to blow it up. They may still do so, and they have a right to do so, but with trading the 4 first-round picks and the pick swap for Mikal Bridges, the Knicks don't have a lot of room in regards to actual picks to throw at people.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
No one is going to pick Indiana. No one's going to pick Indiana to make it close, honestly. You could get tremendous odds if you pick OKC in 7.
I think that taking the series over 5.5 games, the last 2 NBA Finals series ended in 5. I think this one goes 6. I think the Thunder will get the job done, but I think the Pacers are just too strong of a team and too talented of a team and too deep of a team to lose in 5 or fewer games.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
The Knicks really got past that playoff dragon for them that really stood in their way. So for the New York Knicks to be the Celtics and then an outright favorite to win the Eastern Conference Finals, that's where the disappointment is.
The goalposts got moved, right? Because when you went into the Celtics series, a lot of Knicks fans said they weren't going to beat it. I'll say this is more unprecedented than the 99 run when they were the 8th seed.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
Face. It's the new face. New face of what? The hell are you talking about? Like seriously. Oh, the new face of the NBA, Anthony. Yeah, okay. You know what I mean? Look, really? Guy's got 2 shots. You're the face of the NBA. Slow down. He's a good player. I've always thought the whole face of the NBA thing was comical. You want him to be the face of the NBA because you don't like it that all the other faces of the NBA aren't American.
Sports Rage tonight, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. We are cruising along hour number 2. We got Gabe and Cam coming up at the top of the hour, and we got Cam coming up in about 15 minutes or so. We'll go over some golf. Big golf day, obviously, with the U.S. Open this weekend in Pennsylvania. So no doubt Cam has a ton of bets for us. If there was a bet, I don't think there was, but if there was a bet on will both teams lead tonight, and you said yes, you cashed your ticket because Indiana does, in fact, have the lead date 39-36, 11-2 run over the last couple minutes or so. This is the pace. Listen, it's hard to slow a team down. I get that. But at least, we talked about how the pace does suit Indiana more so than Oklahoma City. Not that they can't put 130 points on the board, but there's only one way we think Indiana's going to win, and that's the pace that's going on right now. It's why you and I both like the over. We talked about it that we were only going to place one bet. That would be it. And I like I said, I'd place that bet every single game unless something crazy happens. I was surprised it dropped a point and a half, but that's okay. I'll take it. Right now it's 39-36. Only 224.5. That's a little weird. You got 75 points with 7.5 minutes left to go in the second quarter, and it's down to 224.5. That's a little weird, no? What's up with that?
So we were just gone for a couple minutes. We take the break and they go on this 11-2 run. When Indiana's winning, the number's coming down, believe it or not, as OKC is not scoring. So it'll fluctuate as Indiana, if they extend the lead with OKC not scoring, it may even get down to 220, But if OKC comes back, takes the lead, or goes on a run of their own, it'll go back up. The pace will determine the number, but who is controlling the game also controls how that total goes. You don't automatically move it one way because, this team is scoring more. A lot of times you sit and maybe keep the number down. It's weird. I can't really explain it. It's different.
Right. You know what I saw today that I thought was a little weird? It wasn't over the top, but I saw earlier in the day, maybe last night, whatever, OKC favored by 5.5, and then the money line had Indiana plus 170. Then I saw today that the line had dropped to 5 on FanDuel anyway, but the money line actually went on Indiana up to 180. So I was like, that's kind of weird. It's like pari-mutuel. I know it's separate, pots of money, but, why would the line go down to 5, but the money line actually go up 10 points?
Little move. That's a little odds maker / risk analyst / trader move. You can start to play with the money line when you get a game that's isolated like this in a big volume game, NBA Finals game. These are the biggest games of the season. So you can play with the number to try to entice some action on either or both the side or the money line. So, because if you're taking -5 and someone else is taking plus 180, the book is building their own middle. If OKC wins by 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, it's a scoop. So, you can entice bets on the money line. You can entice bets on the point spread, and you can win both as the book. So, little veteran move there. I can respect that. Used to do that exactly same thing myself. You can also try to do that in game as you're betting, right? you just have to do the reverse. You have to take the money line on the team winning or the favorite and take the plus points when you get them. So you create your own middle, laying money line, short number, and then taking +6, +8, so you can catch both in the middle.
Interesting. All right. I know I was always told that in horse racing, why is, well, one is pari-mutuel, it's different, it's a different pot, and it's different, okay, it doesn't make much sense why the show money would pay more than the place money. You'd see that every once in a while, be like, that's kind of weird. Why would that be the case, right? Because no one's betting a horse to place. They're all betting them to, or no one's betting a horse to show. They're all betting them to place or vice versa, whatever it is.
Yep.
So... All right, 42-39, 6.5 minutes left to go in the second quarter. Our points, 9-2-3-1-5. That hasn't changed. It's been the bench. Mathurin, good old Benedict there, has got 9 points off the bench. Boy, they're definitely dominating. All right, more coming up.
It'll be interesting to see what the Knicks do, but the Knicks are at a point now where they don't have to blow it up. They may still do so, and they have a right to do so, but with trading the 4 first-round picks and the pick swap for Mikal Bridges, the Knicks don't have a lot of room in regards to actual picks to throw at people.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
No one is going to pick Indiana. No one's going to pick Indiana to make it close, honestly. Like, you could get tremendous odds if you pick OKC in 7.
I think that taking the series over 5.5 games, the last 2 NBA Finals series ended in 5. I think this one goes 6. I think the Thunder will get the job done, but I think the Pacers are just too strong of a team and too talented of a team and too deep of a team to lose in 5 or fewer games.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
The Knicks really got past that playoff dragon for them that really stood in their way. So for the New York Knicks to be the Celtics and then an outright favorite to win the Eastern Conference Finals, that's where the disappointment is.
The goalpost got moved, right? Because when you went into the Celtics series, a lot of Knicks fans said they weren't going to beat it. I'll say this is more unprecedented than the 99 run when they were the 8th seed.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
Face. It's the new face. New face of what? The hell are you talking about? Like seriously. Oh, the new face of the NBA, Anthony. Yeah, okay. You know what I mean? Like, really? Guy's got 2 shots. You're the face of the NBA. Slow down. He's a good player. I've always thought the whole face of the NBA thing was comical. You want him to be the face of the NBA because you don't like it that all the other faces in the NBA aren't American.
Sports Rage tonight, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. Scott and Dave, hour number 2. Little NBA, some baseball, obviously, as well. We get the hockey game 4. That'll be tomorrow. So we'll probably touch on that with Cam when he comes on in about 10 minutes or so. But just I was told Red Sox win. They actually take 2 out of 3 against Tampa Bay, dropping the first game, and then they win the next 2. But this has been a really good night or good day. My Red Sox win, Dave. Your Pirates win. We got all the favorites winning tonight, laying a run and a half as well so far. Even the Stankies, who we really don't root for, but we bet on them. The Mets win 5-0, complete game shutout. I mean, I know you're on one side, I'm on the other as far as OKC, Indiana, but we're both on the over, so we can, we'll accept an overplay here. So it's been one of those rare, like everything's going good betting-wise nights.
It is, and the Giants are up 3-1.
Yep.
The Rockies have some guys on base right now, so don't even want to jinx that. Talk about that while it's going on. Yeah, you got to ride these days. in the book, or when you're making these bets, because it doesn't seem like they happen that often when you get right multiple sports and multiple things kind of just rolling, and you check the score and you're like, oh, that's good. Oh yeah, another one. Okay, all right, good. Yeah, keep it going. So I'm impressed so far tonight. What just happened with Indiana in the last 5 to 8 minutes? The bench
pick them now
is incredible. Yeah, I mean, that's what I was just thinking it out in my head. I'm like, you know what? It's time to make Indiana a favorite in the game. I mean, the way this is going, to try to draw some money. So again, and that's just moving the in-game number. That doesn't mean that means it's going to happen. You're just trying to balance the numbers and get bets on both sides. So right now, let me click refresh. I got 49, 45. It's probably time right now with 5 minutes to go to make the Pacers the favorite. You surprised by that?
Little bit. I mean, it's only 4 points. So, 49-45.
Yeah.
It is. The perception was OKC was supposed to be so much better. Yet the point spread was only 5.5. So it's not,
right.
This is not OKC at home. But who thought Indiana was actually going to win besides me? Nobody. So maybe because of that, I mean, you can get OKC now down only 4 in the second quarter. I mean, they've yet to cover a game on the road this postseason. We mentioned this yesterday. Right. They've won, but they have not covered a game. Not even against god-awful Memphis. Not even when Memphis was down 3-0. And every NBA team in the world just lays down and dies in a game 4. And that was only a 2-point OKC road win. So they've not, this is, again, not the OKC regular season dominating teams on the road. They've lost some games on the road. So maybe that's why but I'm still a little surprised. If I didn't like Indiana, would I be all over OKC right now and pick them? Absolutely. Down only 4?
Right.
Absolutely.
Right. Yeah. I think you'll see some good fluctuations as this game continues like this. Pacers lead inside of 5. OKC leads inside of 5. It'll go back and forth and back and forth. As long as Indiana maintains the lead, I'm just trying to think what it would be if they get to halftime and they're up, say 4. It'll be pick 'em. It'll probably be pick 'em, or maybe even if it's 5 or more, the Pacers will be small favorites. So we'll see. But we're on pace for the total. Scoring it did open up.
Now it's up.
Right? Yeah, now it's up.
I
just
someone
clicked
fell
refresh
asleep
over
at the wheel.
230. You think?
That should not have been 224. We had 7.5 minutes left, and they had 75 points already. You were on pace, for another 50 points. It didn't make any much sense for it to be that low. And now all of a sudden it's 9 points higher. We haven't had that much scoring. We got 100 points now with 3.5 minutes left. Same pace it was basically before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. Bill is in the mail, FanDuel. We kind of reminded you to kind of up that a little bit. So grabbed it. Grabbed it at 224.5. Now you got a 231.5. Nice little 7-point middle. I still think we're going to get some points, but that's not a bad middle right now. 7 points on that.
Right.
What you're seeing now, if in fact Indiana is leading at halftime, and it's 51-all right now. But are you at least impressed with Indiana that they're not getting blown out of this game?
Yeah, this is what they're supposed to be doing at home. I really thought that this would Indiana first quarter, first half. You get their best shot. You think. I would have expected them to come out a little with more scoring, but no, this is exactly where you'd think this was supposed to be. I mean, the first half line was 2.5 or 3, so depending on where you were shopping. So yeah, this is okay. Now we'll see what OKC does. Right, we'll learn a lot about OKC in these last 3.5 minutes, whatever we got left here in the first half. So they went to a TV timeout and they tied it with 3.5 minutes to go. and we flipped it back to OKC minus 2.5. Okay. So we were talking about it, and my hesitation was I was thinking it like I was sitting in a room still. Geez, I can't make Indiana favored yet. I know OKC's going to make this, a game again or take the lead again. So I'd be waiting and waiting and waiting. So we saw it flash. Indiana the favorite. It's gone. So that's good. I got to ask you, because we got Cam on next segment, did you look at the golf stuff at all? Because Oakmont is in my old, neck of the woods. I'm born and raised in Pittsburgh. I was on Oakmont one time covering a golf tournament. I never got to play it. It's one of the hilliest golf courses I've ever seen, walked, played on. I was exhausted. We covered a golf tournament. It was a 2-day golf tournament there. I was exhausted following these guys around trying to, get the shots and keep the shot logs and all this other stuff that we were doing for the TV station. But did you see the rough? The rough looks like your worst lawn nightmare. And I know you're a guy that likes to keep a nice lawn. I can't believe how much the rough is like that.
Yeah. There's a whole, one of the guys on the podcast is going with his two sons. And he sent me this little note. There was a whole, I can find it here in a second, but it's a par 3, 330 yards. And then there's a par 4, 315 yards. And he was telling me it's, the course design and the rough and this and that. It's so crazy. Some of these holes are like, they don't make any sense. So, I walked, it sounds like Bethpage Black. I paid Bethpage Black when they have the U.S. Open every once in a while. Same thing, just hills galore. Forget about golfing. Can't even walk it, let alone actually shoot golf. It's so tough, right? So I'm going to go home tonight and take a peek at it and kind of analyze some of the things and listen to Cam. I'm sure he's going to have some plays. But I've not dissected it just yet. But I tell you, I'm more than likely just going to bet Scheffler. I'll be one of those guys that, all right, you want to give me almost 3-1? I can put my bet in Thursday morning, and I get the cash 4 days later, getting paid 3-1. I don't know any CD that's going to pay that. So you can have all your 50-1 shots and all, go knock yourself out. And that's a golf gambler. I'm not really a golf gambler. I gamble to win in golf. That's how it should be with all sports, But so give me the guy I really think is going to win, no matter what the price is. So give me Scotty Scheffler. But I'll play some.
It'll be interesting. Things. Yeah, I'm sure, and hopefully Cam will have. I know Cam's going to have a nice menu of stuff and first round leader and all that other stuff. At this point, though, as hard as that golf course looks, the winning score prop is 1.5.
Wow,
1.5. The winning score, over or under.
Got to go better, right? We'll find out from Cam.
It'll be interesting to see what the Knicks do, but the Knicks are at a point now where they don't have to blow it up. They may still do so, and they have a right to do so, but with trading the 4 first-round picks and the pick swap for Mikal Bridges, the Knicks don't have a lot of room in regards to actual picks to throw at people.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
No one is going to pick Indiana. No one's going to pick Indiana to make it close, honestly. Like, you could get tremendous odds if you pick OKC in 7.
I think that taking the series over 5.5 games, the last 2 NBA Finals series ended in 5. I think this one goes 6. I think the Thunder will get the job done, but I think the Pacers are just too strong of a team and too talented of a team and too deep of a team to lose in 5 or fewer games.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
The Knicks really got past that playoff dragon for them that really stood in their way. So for the New York Knicks to be the Celtics and then an outright favorite to win the Eastern Conference Finals, that's where the disappointment is.
The goalposts got moved, right? Because when you went into the Celtics series, a lot of Knicks fans said they weren't going to beat it. I'll say this is more unprecedented than the 99 run when they were the 8th seed.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
face. He's the new face. New face of what? The hell are you talking about? Like seriously. Oh, the new face of the NBA, Anthony. Yeah, okay. You know what I mean? Look, really? Guy's got 2 shots. You're the face of the NBA. Slow down. He's a good player. I've always thought the whole face of the NBA thing was comical. You want him to be the face of the NBA because you don't like it that all the other faces in the NBA aren't American.
Sports Rage tonight, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. Scott and Dave, hour number 2 of our 1.5 extravaganza. Back to 8 to 10 tomorrow, just with the NBA Finals. Kevin and the coach got a little long previewing the game, which is now 60-56 at the free throw line as OKC final minutes. We got that. We got some baseball, and obviously we got the U.S. Open. So let's bring in our next guest. The guy who takes over at the top of the hour, along with Gabe Morency, Mr. Cam Stewart, who joins us all the time at this time. What's going on, Cam? You're sitting on Indiana, I understand, tonight before we get to the golf.
You know me, Scott. Down boy. Dogs, and more dogs. And right now I'm sweating this out because I got these guys 3.5 first half and money line first half too, and it's a 1-basket game, so we'll be on the air. This is very, very big. But I heard what you said, Scott, before I come on. A little birdie told me, golf gamblers greedy. You're not wrong. We love 40-1. We love 50-1. Hell, we love 100-1. But you're right. Scotty Scheffler kind of changes everything, though it is a major. And we have other guys involved, John Rahm, Neiman, other guys who are very good golfers, DeChambeau. So things change a little bit with the live guys in town. But I will say this, Scott, I'm going to start this one off for you, and I don't do this very often. This is a bet on FanDuel. You can have any combination of like 4 or 5 of the favorites. There's like 10 of them listed. This is my combination, even. Any one of these guys to win, Scheffler, DeChambeau, Rahm, and Aberg. Those are my 4. I don't want Rory. Scheffler, DeChambeau, Rahm, Aberg, even. Sold. I got all those guys. So one of them, and then I bet them individually. So if you want Scheffler 3-1, sure, but I also got him in that one. So basically like a pick'em baseball bet. I get 3 other guys, right? And then I could take their other odds and do some other things with them. Like usually those bets are sucker bets, but with Scheffler, I don't think it's a sucker bet at all. You're getting him and 3 of the other co-favorites, right? And I don't want Rory.
It's actually like insurance for Scheffler. That gets you along, with him in case he does what he does, and if he doesn't, you get those other guys as well. But like you said, you bet them individually. What about these first round leaders? This looks like it could be some juicy prices, Cam.
I get a text from your boy Kaufman. He's like, give me a first round leader. I give him 3. Another guy goes, how about one guy? He goes, I can't give you 1. That's not so. No, you're getting 4, Adam. Right. Anyway, let's talk. Well, God, there's 160 something guys here. So let's start things off, guys, with Colin Morikawa. And it's interesting because nobody in the golf space likes this guy this week. But if you go through all the numbers, he's basically top 5 in every category, including driving accuracy, which you're going to need at Oakmont. Dave's right. I'll tell you, this course is an absolute beast. It's hilly. It's go to the rough. They've already mowed it down. Guys are complaining. That's what I love about the modern athlete. You think Jack Nicklaus and Arnold Palmer and Lee Trevino complained before a tournament even started? Shut up. It's a major. That's what you're there to do. I'm sick and tired of it's too hard. Yeah, it's supposed to be hard. Oakmont's one of the toughest courses. Sorry, I digress, guys. I sound like old guy. I'm not even that old. I'm just 50. But got it. These guys make me like. You ever hear Jack Nicklaus? Sorry, man. This tournament's too hard. I think I'm going to pack it in. No, play. Colin Morikawa, 35-1. Sorry, guys, I got to get off my soapbox. He is a first-round warrior. Tommy Fleetwood, Brady Cannon, friend of the program, great golf capper, likes him in the tournament. I like Tommy Fleetwood in the first round as well. Let's take a look at Russell Henley, the Georgia Bulldog, always a notorious hot starter. These guys, you look at guys' first-round average, all these guys are among the top 20. Cameron Young is a guy that I'm taking a flyer on. Almost won the Canadian Open last week, guys, at 85-1. He is there for a first-round leader. Aaron Rye, another one of my Thursday friends at 90. And Dave, for our French contingent. And Morency, but even though he's from France, Mathieu Pavon, 150-1 first-round leader. Wow. $10 gets you 1,500. See, Scott, golf gamblers are greedy. That's what we are, right? Matchup bets.
Well,
Here are my favorite
I'll give
guys.
you good news also. I'll give you good news real quickly. Pacers by 4 at the half. So you got some extra money to spend.
Yay!
All right, there you go.
Now, you know, I'm just
Outright
going to
winner.
roll. What? Oh, roll it into
More
more golf. Okay,
More
sounds
golf.
good, guys. Frank Font, let's get the party started with Ireland versus Ireland. I like Lowry, the Irish Bear, plus 130 against Rory. I'm doing something this week. I'm fading Rory McIlroy in matchup bets. It could burn me, or I could be good. I heard his driver's real loose, so I'm going to take Shane Lowry at plus 130. Ludwig Oberg against Justin Thomas. It made me feel better when Brady Cannon has Justin Thomas as one of his wild bets, not even to make the cut, which is absolutely bold. And I'm also going Rahm versus Rory McIlroy, minus 120. Here we go, guys. Outrights. Bryson DeChambeau, defending champion, 9-1. He's been bet down to 7 in some places. If it's not Scheffler, it's probably him. Aberg, a lot of the great golf cappers got this guy at 32. He's been bet down to 20 in some places. I got him at 25. Tommy Fleetwood, definitely love him for a top 10 and 20, but I'll take a sprinkle on the win at 40. Patrick Cantlay has basically the wherewithal and the right head game to play well. Top 15 in the last 4 U.S. Opens as well. And Cameron Young, as Carver says, Cameron Forever Young, 150-1. Am I nuts? Yes. Now, these are bets, Dave, that I'm going to tell you. This is one of my favorite bets of the tournament. Joaquin Niemann, top South American, minus 135. He's got to beat a few guys, including Emiliano Grillo. This guy is one of the best players in the world. Carver has him to win the tournament, and he's laying 35 cents, just like in a baseball game. Niemann, top South American. Let's head to the Scandinavian market. You guys know how much I love Sweden and Denmark. I could really go for an igloo right now. It is hot I'm sweating. Plus 180. Ludwig Aberg, top Scandinavian. He's got to beat a couple Swedes and a bunch of guys from Denmark. He is literally the third or fourth choice on the betting board this week at plus 180. Love it, guys. So let's have some fun with the golf this week. See, Scott, I didn't do, I could have bet even more, but I told myself just calm down. We haven't even started yet.
All right.
There'll be more.
Let me throw this one at you. Throw this one at you. FanDuel offers little parlays on who's going to make the cut. Now, we got 150, 160 golfers, right?
Yep.
And the top 60 only make the cut plus ties, obviously. So it's not that many, but they're giving me Scheffler, DeChambeau, Rahm, and Schauffele at minus 150.
Sold. Yes, Scott. Yes,
Right?
yes, and yes again. Like, I worry about Thomas a little bit, but Schauffele is a top 10 machine in majors. Sorry, can you repeat all those? So who do you got again? You got Schauffele,
Schauffele,
Scheffler?
DeChambeau, Rahm, and Schauffele.
Okay,
Scheffler, Schauffele, DeChambeau, Rahm.
Minus 150?
Sander.
You sold me, buddy. I will put that bet in 100. I'm in with you, buddy. I love it. I think they all take it. No problem.
Here we go. Cam, great job, man. Cam and Gabe, plenty more golf bets from them. Top of the hour.
Thanks, guys.
It'll be interesting to see what the Knicks do, but the Knicks are at a point now where they don't have to blow it up. They may still do so, and they have a right to do so, but with trading the 4 first-round picks and the pick swap for Mikal Bridges, the Knicks don't have a lot of room in regards to actual picks to throw at people.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
No one is going to pick Indiana. No one's going to pick Indiana to make it close, honestly. Like, you could get tremendous odds if you pick OKC in 7.
I think that taking the series over 5.5 games, the last 2 NBA Finals series ended in 5. I think this one goes 6. I think the Thunder will get the job done, but I think the Pacers are just too strong of a team and too talented of a team and too deep of a team to lose in 5 or fewer games.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
The Knicks really got past that playoff dragon for them that really stood in their way. So for the New York Knicks to be the Celtics and then an outright favorite to win the Eastern Conference Finals, that's where the disappointment is.
The goalpost got moved, right? Because when you went into the Celtics series, a lot of Knicks fans said they weren't going to beat it. I'll say this is more unprecedented than the 99 run when they were the 8th seed.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
face. He's the new face. New face of what? The hell are you talking about? Like seriously. Oh, the new face of the NBA, Anthony. Yeah, okay. You know what I mean? Look, really? Guy's got 2 shots. You're the face of the NBA. Slow down. He's a good player. I've always thought the whole face of the NBA thing was comical. You want him to be the face of the NBA because you don't like it that all the other faces in the NBA aren't American.
Sports Rage tonight, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. Quick hour and a half tonight. We'll be back tomorrow evening, 8 o'clock Eastern Time, our normal time, watching the NHL Game 4. In the meantime, we got Game 3 NBA Finals. They're at the half, and it is 64, as I told Cam. Dave, 64-60. How about that? Indiana leading by 4. High-scoring game. You got the basically pick 'em, a little juice on OKC at -125, and then you got the over-under at 235.5. So it's up from obviously the 227 or so it was to start the game. Both of you and I both liked the over. Competitive game, good game. No dog in the fight. You got to be pretty happy, entertaining, and obviously both teams have a shot to win, whether it's OKC or Indiana in this one.
Can't believe how well the Indiana bench has done. They have really, I'm checking your scoring again for the starters.
Right. We have
only 2 points for Naismith. Turner only has 3, and Nebhart only has 4. But Mathurin has 14. McConnell has 6. Obi Toppin has 6. So Pacers really playing well as a team and got a bunch of depth scoring. SGA only has 12 at halftime. What's his adjusted number? Do you think he goes over the total? Holmgren is the leading scorer for the Thunder with 15. That's when they had that. And, Jalen Williams, all-star.
For SGA.
Oh, wow. Okay, so it's so they get him 20 in the second half. Okay, well, we get 20 points. I would have to say yes. I think it's going to fall short of that 35.5, though. I think it's going to fall short of that 35.5. As much as we're talking about this NBA Finals and stuff, did you see that the Rockies took the lead on the San Francisco Giants, by the way? It's 4-3 Rockies. Yeah, 4-3 Rockies, spotted them before. That's no good.
Rockies team.
Going to give us another sweat. It's going to come down to that fourth quarter, that end of the game again, where we got a gift last night. That's the way these things work, though, right? Like you get one the night before that you probably shouldn't have won, and then you look like you got Ray on the mound, and they win all these games against the Rockies, and it'll be one of those nights that it doesn't get there. So stay tuned. We still got a lot of time left. There's a lot of baseball left to be played. I got another question for you. So baseball movies. I made a line today on a tweet. Better baseball movie, which one would you vote for? Major League or The Sandlot?
No Field of Dreams?
2 movies, both baseball movies. I'm giving you 2 choices. You just pull.
Yeah.
That's like what my wife does. I say, which one of these 2 do you think is better? She says, well, what about this one? What are you doing to me right now? Not Field of Dreams. Major League or The Sandlot?
Or Sandlot. Yeah, Sandlot. I only know that one dopey scene with the dog eating the ball. So, Major Leagues, for sure.
Okay. All right. I made Major League a -125 favorite. A lot of kids like The Sandlot. A lot of parents like watching the movie Sandlot with their kids because it's kids playing baseball without, structure like we all learned it growing up before all this travel ball stuff and all this other stuff. But there's so many lines for Major League because of Bob Uecker and him, saying so many things. It's so iconic that I think, I'm Major League, but it's a lot closer than you think for me. So
okay,
I had to ask you that.
So who won the
Major
poll?
League.
Or is this just like an impromptu
It's
thing?
still going on. It's still going on.
Okay.
People are voting and giving me their price. Somebody said, I would have made the Sandlot minus 350. No, you wouldn't have, because you got to deluge your money on Major League. Minus 350. Come on. Couldn't do that.
I would think Major League would win. Our poll, by the way, as far as what's the best bet for tonight, you can still put it out, get your vote in if you want. OKC's kind of jumped out to the early lead, and then they maintained it. They're getting 41% of the vote. Indiana plus the 5.5, nearly 35% of the vote, over 14%, and then under 9.5. Which is weird because number 9, 9 is obviously the least, but the line moved down. So our poll is not reflective of the line movements from generally the public. So, but go to SportsGrid, SportsGrid TV, or Sports BK Consig, or Opposite Picks. Get your vote in, and we'll update that tomorrow, obviously.
Absolutely.
So,
are you going to watch golf before we do the show tomorrow?
Oh, yeah. I like watching golf, believe it or not. I know a lot of people say, but I actually enjoy watching golf. Yeah, it's pretty good.
A lot of high scores coming tomorrow.
Yeah. I think it's gonna be a good one. Scheffler is my pick, though, officially. How about that going out on a limb? Cam and Gabe, top of the hour coming up.